Hi, I'm Sherry Strong, and welcome to Sweet Freedom Sunday. When it comes to sugar, how do I stay on the wagon? Is it on the wagon or off the wagon? That's a Seinfeldism. And when it comes to sugar, staying on the wagon, as in staying on the path, I think is a little bit trickier than, say, staying on the wagon when it comes to alcohol. Because you don't accidentally get some alcohol in your breakfast cereal. You don't accidentally get some alcohol if you're at an afternoon tea. Well, I guess it depends on who you're having afternoon tea with. It's much more easy to accidentally get some refined sugar into your day without having any intention of doing so, because it's so prevalent in so many things and it's hidden in so many things. And once you have that little bit of sugar, it lights up the brain and fuels you to have more. So it's easy to kind of get back into that addiction cycle much more easily than with alcohol. So I like to, instead of a wagon, make the analogy of a train. I call it the Sweet Freedom train. And that Sweet Freedom train is you heading towards what is freedom for you. So if that's freedom from the enslavement of how sugar actually imprisons your body, or if it's freedom because you're going to think so much more clearly and have so much more even kind of moods and feel stronger and better and healthier in your body. So freedom from disease, and the freedom that can direct you to living the life that you are here on this planet and meant to live. I believe you have a deeper and bigger purpose than just what is presented superficially to us. And when we get onto that path and we're doing that thing we're meant to be doing in the world, it does feel like absolute freedom. So like a train, the Sweet Freedom train is designed to keep you on track, pun intended, okay? And create a community that makes you want to be on that train. So you're going to get support and resources like tips, tools, recipes, strategies, that kind of thing is on the train. Now, I'm not so naive to think that you're not going to make a stop, whether intentionally or unintentionally. My goal is for you to make less and less stops. And when you do make a stop, to spend the least amount of time on that stop from a little kind of sugar detour. So we get you back on the train and you start to go. And the best ways to get back on the train are to keep in mind some advice that I've had from business mentors. So the first one is from business mentor Simon Sinek, and he gave this fabulous TED Talk. You may have heard it. If you haven't, you have to go check it out. And it's the power of why. So really finding your why. Why are you doing this? Getting really in tune with not just a why of I want to lose weight or kind of the superficial things in life. I want to look good. I don't want to have acne. They're really helpful, but you want to find your deeper why, the thing that really drives you and propels you to make consistently good choices that empower you. So for some people, it might be that I want all my clothes to feel comfortable so that when I'm standing up in front of a crowd, I'm not focusing on how my body looks. I'm actually feeling strong and confident and calm and happy within my body so that I can do what it is I'm meant to be doing in this world much more powerfully. For other people, it might be, I don't want to get diabetes. For other people, it might be, I want to inspire my children to eat in such a way that they're not dependent on sugar. Or that bigger why can be, I really want to take care of their health. So finding the why in the process of actually making this decision is really powerful. Another business mentor who inspired me, and his piece of advice I like to use with clients when it comes to giving up sugar, is to begin with the end in mind. So not your end in mind, so not focusing on your butt kind of end in mind, although that might be one of your big whys, but focusing on the end result. How am I actually going to feel consistently if I make this decision? And what the decision about actually giving up sugar and really doing something that is an extreme act of self-care and self-love, it actually builds your confidence. So the more you're able to resist and say, you know what, in this moment, I'm actually preferring my end goal as opposed to this temporary moment of pleasure. And a great quote around this is, discipline is remembering what you want. So if you're thinking about beginning with the end in mind and making your decisions based on what it is that I most want, okay? For me, one of those big things is waking up feeling happy. When refined sugar is out of my body, I wake up consistently happy. It's amazing. When my body is nourished, when I'm getting natural energy from the foods that are clean and free of refined sugars, I wake up with a happy disposition no matter what's going on in my life. So no matter what's going on in the outside world, if there's political unrest, terrible things have happened in the world, I've had a loss that happened to me personally with family members and things like that. I find when my body doesn't have the toxicity of refined sugar in it, I'm much stronger and equipped to dealing with the difficult challenges in life. The last piece I want to share with you on this is the concept of hypernourishment. Now, I developed this concept out of using the word hyper from the mathematical application where it talks about 4 dimensions. And I borrowed it to refer to the 4 dimensions of nourishment in our human life. So we have 4 dimensions in the mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical. When it comes to giving up sugar, most programs focus on the physical. And the interesting thing is that the drivers for the physical actually happen here in the mental, emotional, and spiritual areas. And in each of those 3 areas, what I noticed with clients over 20 years of observing the common denominators between the issues that they had with food is that in each of those areas they had something that was toxic, and in some cases there was toxicity in all 3 areas. So mentally, from the stimulus that was going in, emotionally from how the thoughts actually affected their emotions and the feelings that came from that, and spiritually, things that actually were toxic to their spirit. When I started to work with them and started to remove the toxic influences and started to bring in nourishing emotional experiences, nourishing spiritual experiences, nourishing mental experiences. So we removed the toxicity and we started to hyper-nourish in all quadrants of the life. What happened was when you had to make changes in the physical, it made things so much more easy. So staying on the wagon, or as I like to call it, the Sweet Freedom Train, is all about finding your why, beginning with the end in mind, so what it is you really want to accomplish in life, and understanding that discipline is remembering what you want. And if you can finish that off by finding the areas of your life that are toxic, getting rid of them, and start to bring in nourishing influences in all areas of your life, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically, so you hyper-nourish your body and your life, giving up sugar becomes so much easier. Thank you for joining me on Sweet Freedom Sunday. For more tips, tools, and recipes to help you end sugar addiction for good, please go to sweetfreedom.ca, and I look forward to seeing you next Sunday.